Right, I think we'll begin. I'm sure others will begin to join us as we go on. I know some of you are new. Some of you have been here before, which I appreciate. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. I should really put my mic and headphones on, but it's too late now. So thanks for joining today. What I really like about these group sessions is just being able to be interactive. I think maybe last week I kind of lectured a bit too much on different points that I had prepared, but I really want this to be as interactive as possible. I know some of you are obviously earlier in the process than others who have been here for a while, so I do want to make sure that this is useful for everyone. That means please ask me lots of questions about everything and anything. Just raise your hand on the screen if you need me to answer a question about anything that we're discussing or anything that comes up. And also, I really want, there was a few weeks ago when people started disappearing, when I started to say, let's start doing the objection handling and communicating back and forth. Please, if you can, keep your camera on, saves me just looking into the abyss. And also, don't be shy. You know, this is a sales job, so what you're building here is about you being able to interact with people, be liked, be trusted. You know, this is great, very easy training ground to do that level of back and forth in regards to the kind of conversations that you'll have. And also, I hope you guys get the feeling as well that this is not hard sales. When I say hard sales, this is not you walking into a shop or contacting a client and having to twist their arm and hard sell them into wanting to use the PIGEE application. As long as you're able to explain it in a brief and clear way that makes sense to them, they will be able to understand why it's a benefit to them, why it's important to them, and that bit's easy. Of course, sales, it's okay to be a little bit selfish. I think I've been telling people that for years. Maybe I'm selfish, I don't know, but the reason why it's okay to be a little bit selfish is because there's no point doing something incorrectly, and then when you come back, when you 2 or 3 months time, look back and see all the effort you put into it. If you're not seeing enough money in your pocket for doing so, something's broken in that system that needed fixing. So it's important to try and do all the core things well, because that will make a big difference on how much your recurring income has increased by over the coming months from now. And look, sales is a confidence game, and no one gives you confidence, you earn confidence by going out. Maybe you feel a bit nervous, you're not quite sure sometimes, you haven't got all the answers, but just by going out, communicating with people, that's how you really get that confidence that makes people believe and trust the things that you're saying with that confidence that you've earned. Before we begin, anyone had any not necessarily issues, but any feedback from any interactions they've had with shop owners, any objections they had, and they thought to themselves, look, I don't know what the answer is to this, and you'd like me to help with that, then please raise your hand. Got Thabo first. Thabo, how you doing?
Good evening, Lyra. Good to see you. Just on top of that note of how you mentioned this isn't necessarily hard sales, and we're not necessarily twisting their arm to get them to actually sign on. I have been talking with several clients, and I've had similar objections along the way. Though my first question for starters would be, when do we know that it's time to let go? I mean, sure, we have our fair share of objection and handling to go through. I mean, we wouldn't want to just stop at the first no, because they may not know how much they need it. Because even now, before getting on this call, I was speaking with someone earlier, and they were interested in the app. Though the issue is, it's also a thing where they have to speak to their directors before actually making a decision to use it. Though I guess my question being is, when would you say it's time to let go of a lead?
Sorry, hold on a second. My thing's gone haywire as usual. Let me just fix this. Bear with me a sec. I know it dies every single week when we do this at the same time. It seems to want to go haywire. Some serious issues today. It's tiring on me.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool. Take your time.
There we go. Right, it's working now. Sorry, so when is it time to call it quits with a shop? First of all, I mean, you just know you have, like, in the city you're in, sometimes it feels like you've only got 30, 40 shops that are suitable, but you'll actually find out there are thousands of suitable shops. And you should see every shop in this stage of your process as being practice. So have that at the back of your mind a little bit, but it also depends on what objections and who you're speaking to. So give me an example of one of them. So were you speaking to a decision maker?
This was like a proxy, more like a second hand to the main director. And I suggested PIGEE like casually as we were talking about how they would go about improvements in terms of making payments. And further on, we went to go and discuss how it works and, just like the modeling it does in terms of how it's free to use and how the sign up only really takes 2 minutes. And they liked what they had to hear, but the issue was they weren't like the main decision maker. So what I did do then is send everything I could to them and then just have them get back to me within a week or two. Though another objection I do have is where they heard of PIGEE or they haven't heard of PIGEE, but they're not necessarily willing to actually adopt it as a payment method.
Okay, I mean, they don't need to use it as a payment method. To be honest with you, they can just use the payments through. They can just do the payments through their own, whatever they want, by cash or whatever. So they don't have to use the payment method. It's better for the customer if they do.
I see.
But 1 second. Really dying over here today. Oh God. I'm going to switch out of this in a minute because this is not working out. 1 second. I'm going to switch devices. This is not working out. So 1 second. Let me just kill this. Right. Here we go. Can you still hear me okay? Okay. I'm on mute. Okay. So yeah, I think the clear issue there was that not dealing with the decision maker. I wouldn't even speak to that person if they're not the decision maker. As soon as you've decided that they're not a decision maker, don't talk to them anymore. Just try and get a business card, because you're trying to do a magic trick here with every person, which is that very sleight of hand of how you get them to be where you want to be. If you say to a third party person that, okay, I'm going to just give you all this information, let you do the magic, then they're not going to understand. They're not going to do the magic for you. So you can't ever have a gatekeeper between you and the person who makes the decisions. So I would always end that pretty quickly and just try and get a business card or a contact. If you can't, maybe come back another day. Maybe that person will be there another day. But I wouldn't even bother trying to sell to a person who's not a decision. To be honest with you, maybe I should have made it clearer as well in the past. We've had that issue in previously, where in some areas where the owners or the managers are never there. It's just like an assistant who doesn't know what they're doing. He's just kind of manning the shop in some areas, and it's almost pointless ever speaking to them. yeah, do always get to the decision make. I think that's the key problem. Was there another situation you had where you had an objection?
Yeah, just in this one in particular is they will mention that, okay, well, right now we have EFT and cash payments. And in terms of other means of payment, we're not necessarily willing to adopt anymore.
Okay. So just roll it back a little bit with me. So when you first went into that shop, what did you do and how did you first begin communicating with them?
Okay, so firstly, it was a means of how long have you guys been here now? And it's like, okay, well, we've been here since 1999, and we do shipments in both here, Botswana and Kenya. And it's a thing where I see. And then just in terms of payments, how do me as a client usually pay? And it's we offer, EFT, we offer cash, as well as like another payment link that we can send you. And I then went to go and asked, like, okay, I see. And just like out of curiosity, do you guys have like any upcoming improvements or like changes you want to make? And they're like, okay, well, why do you ask? No, sorry, I only asked because I didn't notice like PG as an option. And I'll go on to explain, okay, so what's PG exactly? Yeah, so it's essentially like a platform where you could also pay. It's free to use and it allows you to actually have shipments and products like these just actually shipped to where I stay or where anyone else would stay. And yeah, I didn't notice that as an option. That's why I thought you guys like already had it. And then it's like, well, no, we haven't heard of PG and we don't use PG. I'm like, okay, I hear you. And if I were able to just help you set it up because it takes only 2 minutes, would you be interested in then using it? Because I feel like it really could just help with future purchases.
Okay, so
And yeah.
I'm getting the vibe here where it's got a little bit off course, a little bit, only because people have short attention spans. And you and I know that even though Pidgee is a payment app, the real thing it's doing is sending travel shopping home. And I can tell from that interaction that even though you did mention that the sending travel shopping home, they would have come away feeling very focused on just the payments bit, and they're probably thinking, "We've already got payments processor. What's so good about this?" I think in your initial interaction with them, when you were you started off really well with some open questions. I think there are some better open questions that you could be asking to get the right problems out of them. And you're trying to highlight this particular pain point as what you want them to tell you about, and then things around that particular pain point, which is when a customer comes into their shop to buy something, but the product is too big, fragile, or awkward to carry home in their suitcase. How do they currently service that particular problem? And I think that's the direction where you need to go, because as a payments processor, we're not necessarily better or unique in that. So the bit that we are unique on, we need to make sure we heavily lead them in that direction so they see the value proposition for them as a business. And so maybe some of the open questions could have been, so you did well, you walked into the shop, you had a look around, you saw some products. First of all, always compliment them. People are shallow, including me. Always compliment their products, first of all. Show interest in it. Ask them about the product maybe, but the product you want to ask them about is a product that's going to have that problem about that's too big, fragile, or awkward. So you see a product that's too big, that is big, it's just obviously difficult to carry home, fragile, and just say, oh, I really like this is amazing. Do you sell a lot of it? Do these get, do you sell a lot of these? Not an open question. Do you sell a lot of these? Who normally buy, what kind of people normally buy these? The tourists buy these. Okay, how do they get them home when they buy them? We're on a very specific problem here, a very specific type of product that they sell, very specific problem. You're leading them in a way where you are asking openish questions, but they're having to discuss that real problem, not just the payment side of it, that particular pain point. And I think you'll have much more luck, much more results that way, and much more control over the conversation that way when it's about that rather than the payment side of it. Does that help?
Yeah, a lot. Thank you.
Okay, all right, great. I've seen some questions pop up here. Start a bit. Okay. Door-to-door sales. It can be any kind of sales you want, but really it is not door-to-door. But it is in person in shops. You are the best. I know people want to do alternative ways, calling and everything else, but the easiest way to do this is qualifying the shop and going into a shop in person. Okay, yeah, same sort of questions really. And so look, there's a couple of things I wanted to highlight today. Some of them I've gone over before, but I think it's good to repeat them. I do want to keep this interactive, so I'm really open to questions as well, going back and forth and your experiences. I'm just floating back some conversations I've had with people this week as well. Some have been about the level 2 course and about the HubSpot, setting up on that side of things and really understanding the difference between using your HubSpot CRM and using your PIGEE Web Console CRM. It can be a little bit confusing. It does explain it all in level 2. So if you're onboarded, you can go into level 2 and go through it. It's all in there. But just as a very quick snap point to make about those things, your HubSpot CRM, it's very simple to use. It's really important to use it correctly, to list your shops, the leads on there, because when they download the app and make an account, it then automatically connects and will set you as the assigned, salesperson, commission recipient, most importantly, of that account. So it is important to manage your leads in an efficient way. PIGEE, just going back to what Davo was saying as well. PIGEE, it's really important that when you're explaining to someone about PIGEE, it's a differentiation. It's what's unique about PIGEE. Why is it so important to them that no one else can do it? Why is it so much better than the way that they're doing it? And currently, pretty much any shop will, if you do point out a product that you can't carry home, pretty much any shop will say to you, "Oh yeah, well, I can just get it. I can get it shipped for you. I call up the normal company that I use. I can arrange that for you." It's quite normal for a shop to respond that way. But very few of them have positive relationships or positive outcomes with that when they do that. But the way in which you explain to someone that PIGEE fixes that for them, you can do it in a couple of sentences instead of like a big pitch. You really try and avoid the big pitch. Try the sounding so official. And the way to do that is when you are asking these questions, and I was just saying to Dabo a minute ago about being able to lead them to a specific problem in their shop that they need fixing, that they might not be doing well, lead them in that direction. And then when you are giving them the solution, you're trying to create an emotional response from someone, not a purely rational, because it's the same way you can't get a third party to do it for you, because they're going to give it, if at all, they're going to do it in a rational way. You are trying to gain an emotional response from someone so that they will become enthused in what you're doing. Unfortunately, that's just how humans work, not so much about being rational. So someone gives you some problems, and the way that you sell it back to them is in just 1 or 2 sentences. I was saying to somebody earlier on, of those 1 and 2 sentences, some of the key points I always like to throw in is that it's free and you get paid for every transaction you do, because I think those 2 points are really big hitting winning points. So those are the 2 of the points you should always end your sell to them effectively. The other thing you say to them is based on what their problems have been. You might have started off talking about an issue with shipping, and then they may go on something. They might go a bit deeper. They might say, "Well, look, the shipping's one thing, but I have to keep on creating these commercial invoices by hand, and I keep getting sent back to me because either no one can read my handwriting, I put one bit of information wrong on the label and it gets sent back to me all the time. And you can say, well, look, PIGEE automatically creates those commercial invoices for us. It's always perfect every single time. It's all taken care of for you, and it's free, and you get paid every time you use it. So it might be that PIGEE you can say it like this: PIGEE solves all the problems you just mentioned. All the problems you've just mentioned, PIGEE solves all of those. And it's free, and it pays you commission every time you use it. I can't believe you're not using it. And that throwaway comment at the end of either I can't believe you're not using it, you use it, right? It's getting really popular. How comes you're not using all those like FOMO throwaway comments you're putting at the end makes them feel a little bit inadequate and a bit silly. Geez, why am I so behind the curve? Why am I not using it? And that is enough. Those 3 or 4 points there is enough to get the right emotional response from someone that they then say, yeah, I'm going to download the app. You should really be trying to, before you leave that shop on the first time you meet them, as long as you're speaking to the right person, they're not having a terrible day, you should be trying to leave in that first meeting with them downloading the application and setting up the account. That should be your goal. And the funny thing about that is that in your mind, that's your goal. You have to act like it's not your goal. If I'm being difficult enough about this, because if you go in and it's written all over your face, you're trying to accomplish this thing out of them, it's going to be more difficult to do. It's almost like part of this flippant, oh, I can't believe you don't use PIGEE situation. Like you're almost at the door, you're about to leave. They're like, oh, okay, they're going now. Thanks, nice to meet you. Yeah. So you don't use the app. It's that when they're at the most defenseless, you're saying to them, oh yeah, well just get on your phone quickly. Oh, how do I do it? Oh, hey, I'll give you a hand. That's when you get a bit at the end there, when you're kind of leaving and you get to download the app and you get them to register on the app quickly. That's when you do it, and much less. The less official it all comes across at this point, the better. What you're doing is you're creating scenarios where the shop owner, who may well be entrepreneurial, when you leave, they have the feeling that, God, you know what? I'm so clever. I've found this new thing that other people are doing that I'm behind the curve on. That's going to help us make more money and get more customers. And I've decided to download this app, and I've decided to register. And now I've even found someone who's going to come and give me a hand in doing sales. That's the feeling you want them to have when you're leaving. They shouldn't have the feeling of, oh no, it's trying to persuade me into do this, it's trying to talk me into doing that. That shouldn't be the feeling they're having. The feeling they should have is that they've done it all. They're the clever ones. They've worked it out. You were just spare to their ingenious plan. That's how they should feel. And so I'm not going to go into too much, but as you know, I was a stockbroker, and in stockbroking, we used to talk a lot about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. If you ever fancy going down a deep hole on YouTube or online, just type in neuro-linguistic programming, and you'll learn really good techniques of persuading people to do what you want to do in a sales environment, and understand that what you're trying to get out of them is not just that you complete a sale, but that the feeling you leave them with is what's important as well. I'm getting some more questions thrown in here. Yeah, so that. Yeah, and so we are selling to them to make their life easier, and it's not just it's not. And so look, the real sale, the actual sale, is not from you to that shop owner. The real sale is from the shop owner to their customer. That's where the actual sale is happening. You're just giving them a new way of thinking. You're just giving them an app on their phone that helps them do more of it and make more money from doing it. You know, you won't be able to quite achieve it in your first meeting, but during your second meeting, they need to feel that you're both on the same team here, which you are. There is no conflict. You are both on the same team because you get paid commission when they do transactions. It's really simple. There's nothing to hide, nothing to like manipulate on about. That's it. They do more sales, you make more money. That's it. But it'll be difficult in the first meeting to get that across. But in your second meeting, when you go back, it will. And just to clarify to people as well about this two-stage, and I've said it to a lot of you already, two-stage close. That first stage is what we've just been discussing just now about going into a shop, getting them to leave with that right feeling, giving those flippant comments of FOMO, I can't believe you're not using the app. This is really going to help your business. Other people are using it. Just download it. Just download it. Oh, you need a hand. I'll help you with it quickly. Then once you've got them registered on the app, just know as long as you're onboarded, you don't need to. All of these shops, they are being manually verified, which means human beings in the background verifying them. You're there in real life. We're only verifying things to make sure they're not a scammer in another country pretending to be that shop, because we're trying to protect customers. You're there in real life, so you know who they are. You can just log on to your web console, your PIGEE web console, and just verify them yourself. You don't need to wait for someone else. That means they're live and active. They'll love it. Now they can look on your device as a customer and see, oh, that's my shop. That's my shop there on the PIGEE app. Customers can see me from anywhere in the world now. And they can connect to me that easily. So they love to see that they've been verified now, and it's been really quick. So the end of this first stage is you now being a little bit flippant again and just asking, when are you guys most busy? I'm busy on a Friday. Okay. If I have time, I will come back and give you a hand to do some sales on the Friday with the PIGEE app. Okay, great. Thank you. You now leave. That's first stage. That's a very successful stage one interaction with a shop. When you've perfected this process, you will do that 9 times out of 10 with every shop you walk into. That's not that I'm saying I'm the best salesperson in the world, but that's my experience. I've got to a point where every time I go into a shop, almost every single one I go into, by the time I leave, they've downloaded the app, they've registered their account, and you're just trying to get to that point where every single one is doing that. This is a funnel. There are multiple stages in this funnel. You are, by experience and practice and experimenting, figuring it out. I'm going to give you all the ways in which I've found out do work for my experiments, but you can also do other experiments. You might think, okay, I've done that bit in my funnel. Those 3 bits work, but I'm going to experiment with this other part of it and see what their reaction is. I'm going to make sure I'm looking in their eyes and seeing how they're responding to what I'm saying. And maybe I will change that a little bit. Maybe I think I can do this way a bit better because of a cultural difference. It's just better. Okay. Right. Stage 2, on your grand return back to this shop to help them to do some sales now. And I love to call this a fishing exercise, because it really is the fishing exercise. You have to go back on a busy day because you want there to be real customers. You need them to be because if you go back and it's quiet and there are no customers in there, you're not going to be able to complete a transaction or sale. You might be there all day waiting for someone, and you've got things to do yourself, I'm sure. So when you go back there on a busy day, at a busy time of the day, now you're a familiar face. And listen, don't make really specific meeting times. Don't say, oh, I want to come back at this particular time and meet this particular person. I know firsthand, because sales shop owners hate being sold to. They don't get sold to very often, but I don't like it. They will go missing. If you not all of them, some of them, if you book set meeting times with loads of shop owners, a lot of them, you'll go back to meet them at that time, and they put that time in their diary not to be there, because they know you're going to come back and sell. So don't set specific times of when to meet people. just set a day. They're going to be on that day anyway. You come back in the time that suits you. You go back in there, build that rapport again, be friendly, get along with them. Maybe give them a few other benefits and features. Ask them how have they played around with the app? How they look at it? Did they understand the concept of it? They won't. You've not explained it to them yet, the concept. But ask them anyway. Have you explained the concept yet? Oh no. What is the concept? And just explain. Look, it's great. I'm gonna show you today. Hopefully, customer's gonna come in with this pain point. I'm gonna show you today in real life how it works. Customer, product too big, can't buy it. I don't wait for them to come to me. I can see they can't buy that product, it's too big. I go to them. I say, hey, do you like this product? I do. Would you want to buy it? Yeah, probably would do. Well, why aren't you buying it? If you want to be a bit upfront. How am I going to get it home? Okay. Just Pidgee at home. You know, normally people use DHL, but we use this new thing now called Pidgee. It's you just pay for the product on the app, download the app, pay for it on the app with whatever payment you want, or you can pay in cash if you want, but you pay for the shipping on the app. It includes the shipping. It's collected and sent home to you. Very simple. And what's important now is when you're speaking to a customer, you are putting it in real simple, basic terms. I mean, your ideal customer profile anyway is someone who probably is educated, traveled, worldly, will understand these things you're talking about, but you still want to put it in really simple terms, and which is whatever you want in here. Don't worry about how big it is or how difficult it is to get it home. You choose what you want. The shop owner will list it if you haven't already listed it, and you just treat him like Amazon, treat him like Shopee, treat him like Tokopedia. You just pay for it on the app, and it will be collected and sent home for you. How does that sound? Oh, that's amazing. Great. And you just go through the steps with them. You just literally go through the steps. You're this conduit. You just get them to tell the shop owner to list the product that the customer wants. Get the shop owner to download the app. As you know, for a customer, getting on the app is much quicker and easier than it is for a shop owner. A shop owner has to spend 2 minutes creating an account. A customer just clicks sign in with Google or sign in with Facebook. That's it. And they've already got an account, and that's it. They have to put their address in at some point, but they're basically in. And they just pay for it on the app and just say, look, it's your protected, it's your credit card or your whatever it is. And now it's insured. This gentleman here, this lady here is not going to receive the payment for your product if you pay by the app until it's collected by one of our shipping partners, of which will always be cheaper than everyone else because we're Omni. We put them all in together. We'll always get the cheapest one for you. And if you go home and you want to buy some more one day, you can also just message and buy some more from this person. And just try and complete that sale. You know, you want to have the blessing of the shop owner because you're working together. Make sure they understand you're working together to get these sales in as well. And that's it. You'll cap some tourists will be just really easy. Okay, great, thanks. Like basically do it for me. Oh yeah, hold my phone, do it for me. Great, I'll pay for it. Because tourists are very loose with their money as well. The statistics show that tourists spend 100% more when they're traveling than when they're at home. So tourists are very loose with their money. Again, they just have to like you and trust you. But you're in a shop. You're representing a shop, so it's fine. You do that sale. That shop owner, they're in your pocket now. You are the man. You are the woman now. They're in your pocket. You've done that first sale with them. I wouldn't say that necessarily they'll be able to do it again just yet, but they now believe this process works. They've just sold a product that they wouldn't have sold without you. And after that is complete, they're going to see now how easy it is just to package it and have it collected by one of their shipping partners. And it's really straightforward. You probably in your head already, if you've been paying attention to the course, know like 15 different benefits and features. And now you have a real captive audience in this shop owner. They are truly captive now. They want to hear what this can do for them. And now you can start giving them more benefits and features that the application can hold for them, like the fact that they can use it like their own CRM. They can keep track of all their customers they've ever had through Pidgee, where they are in the world, who's been selling it. They can start selling different products because they can see that customers from Italy like this particular kind of thing that's too big. You know, they can message out to their customers on the app. By the way, remember last year or last month you bought this? I've got another one. Take a picture, have a look at this. Do you want me to list it for you? You know, there's so much more that shop owner can do, but you just got to get them through stage by stage into where they need to be in the right mind frame. Anyone's got any questions, please throw them at me. Dabo, how you doing?
Hey again. So just now, when it comes to complementing products and, you know, understanding when a product is big and how they can't like necessarily carry it with them, is there ever a case where a product is too big, like furniture, for example?
Yeah, there is. It is. I haven't set up. By the way, I haven't set up Courier Guy yet. But it is. It is down to our shipping partners, not us. We don't mind. Like in Indonesia, I think we've been speaking to like JT Cargo, who do really big things. But it is down to whoever our shipping partners are in that region. And FedEx, UPS, DHL only do 1.8 or 1.5 meters square in size, which is still big. It's bigger than most statues and ornaments. It is really big anyway. That's the normal size they do maximum. Weight is normally around 30 or 35 kilograms maximum weight, which is again very heavy anyway. So you don't usually get that. But if you are selling a table that needs to go into a big cargo box, we're not currently servicing that in South Africa. So really, it's small furniture, small chairs. Even a chair folded up, like a small furnitures we're fine with, homewares we're fine with, most things we're fine with, but like a big dining room table, a car, no, we're not going to be quite doing that just yet. But we will do. We'll get there with some more interactions. Benny, you are in you're in Yogyakarta, right?
Yeah, right. I'm in Jogja.
Have you spoken with any clients, any potential shop owners out there?
Yeah. Yes.
How's it been going? What's your feedback been like? What's your interactions been like?
I'm just identifying the product. I'm looking for the product, the big one, or so the foreign tourists can carry them. So and just talking, just only identified.
Okay, all right, great. Good news for you. We've just reinstated our agreement with Lion Parcel, who have brought down their rates a little bit, so they're a little bit cheaper than before now. That's about to go live again in the next couple of days. So our shipping from Yogyakarta will be a little bit cheaper than previous as well. So that'll be good.
So yeah, so it's not for foreign tourists; it's for domestic also.
Both, yeah. For Yogyakarta, we can do both domestic but like I say, we don't make much money from domestic, especially in Asia. So
yeah,
we much prefer you to be doing international rather than domestic.
Just looking for medium price, for the product.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, you're like I said to you before, Benny, you're in one of the best locations to be in for this particular product. Yeah, we get incoming from Yogyakarta shops over the last year, so you're in a really good location for it. Also, some of you on here are in Morocco, and again, Morocco is also a really great location. The only problem you have in Morocco is that tech savviness, bank accounts, and I know lots of shop owners don't have a bank account and are not very tech savvy and are traditionalist, and sometimes will need some real guidance to get them using it. But once you crack it, and every region is a bit different, but once you crack it, you will make tons of money once you crack it with each one. And I think it is really important to think of it. I know it feels like there are so many moving parts in this sales process to get them to start generating that regular income for you. But the way you should see it is, like I said a moment ago, is that it's a funnel. But normally in a sales funnel, when you're doing high activity, key performance indicators, contacting as many people as possible, and it will just go down and give you the result you want. This funnel is different. This funnel is the stages of your conversation you're having with them that takes them from first meeting them to them doing transactions without you. That's where you're trying to get to. And each part of that process, you have to listen very carefully to what they're saying and how they're saying it, what their body language is to you, so you can deduce whether or not you did that well. And if you get that positive response from someone a couple of times, then you keep on to that. It's like you've got like a Rubik's Cube. I don't know, I'm giving some really bad analogies here, but it's like, you're just putting together this perfect product that is your sales strategy by trial and error. And then once you get it all, it will just click. And it's like you pop the champagne bottle. When it just clicks, you will find this a really easy job, and you will just do sale after sale, client after client. It will become such an easy job for you once you do that. But there's no cheat code to it at this stage. It's just investing that time, figuring out. But you have to listen. Like, I know sometimes, and that's the thing with sales, right? Is that sometimes when you're in a really old product, you can get away with not listening. You can get away with just bombarding them with information, because there's already been a specific strategy that yields results in that way. And there's not enough benefit in you learning new things to improve your sales results. You can just batter them with that exact strategy, knowing that if you do enough at the top end of your filter, it will filter through to you to results. But even with that, if you're on a sales floor, you will always find that some people magically do better than everyone else. And you can't understand sometimes, well, how come we're all doing the same job, we're reading the same sheet of what to say, but two of these guys are absolutely killing it. Like, are they working harder than me? And it's like, no, they've just experimented with a few little points in their sales, which has garnered much better results. And that's what you're doing. The difference here is that there are cultural differences in every country that you're in that you should know much better than me, because you're from that culture, from that location, from that country. But you have to be listening, because you are personally designing. I'm giving you the general sales strategy based on my experience, and my experience has been mainly in Indonesia, which is lucky for Benny, in doing this particular sales strategy. But you have to listen carefully with your ears and your eyes to how they respond to each bit, so you can keep on perfecting this. And for those of you who perform well and decide, I want to do it, I'm a team leader, I want to have a team to lead, I want to manage some people, you are then able to say, look, this is the way. Here is every stage of this. This is exactly the way to do this sale efficiently in this environment to this type of client. And then they can just imitate you doing it. And then your team is a team that's not just you, but your team is flying. You're making extra commission because your team is flying. So it is a personal journey to figure this out for yourself. But like I said, once you do, champagne bottles, it pops off. It pops off. If you've got any more questions, throw them in. I do want to, we've got 10 minutes to go. I do want to just do a little bit of objection handling, so please don't start disappearing. Anyone who has their camera off at the moment, please put your camera back on again. This is not for me to kind of test you to see what you know about the app and what you know. If you cannot handle the objection because you don't know the answer, don't worry, just blag it. Just just give some sort of response. It doesn't matter if the information you're saying is wrong, just give a response. I will afterwards tell you what the response was, but as much as the information you're sharing, it's your ability to look calm, to be collected, and be able to respond in a way that gives them comfort as well when it comes to your objection handling. And just know, objections are good. If you're doing a sale and no one raises any objections to you, they probably were not listening to what you were saying. So objections are really good. Oh, someone's joining at the last minute. Yeah, objections are really good to have. So handling them will make a big difference in what you do. Let's start off with Benny. I'm going to start off with you, Benny. I'm going to give you an objection, and I want you to give me a rebuttal. I want you to persuade me why my objection is not so relevant. Persuade me, like to sell to me why your response to it. So Benny, my objection is that I've never heard of PIGEE. How do I know that I can trust PIGEE with handling my customers' shipping?
PIGEE is an application that will help your sales to up your sales and help your shipment. If some foreign tourists, you have a big thing, they can handle it and they can carry it. You can use this application.
Okay, that's fair enough. One other thing I would say on why you can trust PIGEE is that you've said PIGEE is an app, PIGEE is software, but our partners are very old. The ones who do the actual shipping are the big, very old, very well-known companies like DHL, FedEx, Line Parcel in Indonesia as well. You know, we're just software. When they pay for the shipping, it's actually those guys who are doing the literal logistics of moving things around for you. So you know that you can trust. You trust FedEx, right? You trust, maybe not, but you trust Line Parcel, right? So you know you can trust that it will be done for you correctly. Okay, great. Do you? I'm going to give you a choice, Benny. Either you can choose someone and you give them an objection, or I can choose someone and give them an objection, or you can choose someone and I give them an objection. It's up to you.
Maybe for taboo, and the objection is, will you guarantee I receive my my money when the packet is picked up?
You're on mute. You're on mute, Tabo.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, and yes, to answer your question, that's valid. The registration process only takes 2 minutes, and once you do, all the details that you would need to actually get your commission back will be there in terms of both your address and your payment method. And as soon as the customer has received the shipping, you automatically get the commission for that.
Oh, even better than that, Tabo. It's even better than that. It's as soon as it's not once the package is received, it's as soon as it's collected by the shipping partner, they will. So it could, if they click request shipping before 2 o'clock, before 2 p.m., the chances are it'll be collected that same day. So the shop owner will actually receive in the same day. They'll be able to withdraw. It will show on their account, but they'll be able to click withdraw in the same day of the money that they've made. So, and they can definitely guarantee it that it'll be collected to them. If they don't trust, if they don't feel secure in trusting us, they can accept a payment and then the usual means in cash or their own credit card machine. But when they do that, the tourist is being given a warning that their money is not safe until it's collected. So, you know, PIGEE is here to be a middle person that creates trust and therefore improves sales. So it's up to them if they want to do that or not. But their money is guaranteed. It's definitely being sent to their bank. And as soon as the package is collected, it's sent straight to their bank account, which might be, I've seen it in Indonesia happen in the same 30 minutes before, less than 30 minutes, but it can take a couple of days depending on which country you're in, but it can also be very, very quickly into your account sometimes. Dabo, I guess the rugby ball is in your hands, so you can pick someone and give them an objection.
Okay, I'll pick Yahya. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Okay, so my objection is I hear what you're talking about, but these are our payment methods, and unless you're willing to use them, we can't necessarily help you or change.
Okay, so can you please repeat again for me to send what?
So I hear what you're talking about when it comes to PIGEE, and it sounds great. Though for now, we only use these payment methods, and we're not really looking to get any more.
Okay, so as a client, can I ask you, can you explain to me more?
Yes, for the moment, we only really take either cash or you can use card or EFT, whether online or physically. But those are the only other methods that we use. We're not looking to get any more.
Okay, so concerning this matter, I would say that you have a lot of options. The first option, as we said, is the cash option. So you go and you pay immediately after having your product that you're wanting to have delivered. At the same time, you can go with the other option, which is like, yeah, you go and you pay through the app. Both are safe, both are reliable, but you need to be comfortable with the option that you are more relaxed with, the one that you can actually adapt to during your situation, whether you are in your country or whether you are in the country that you're visiting. Other options, of course, now like we're going with the available resources, so this is what can be provided for now.
Okay, great. So I think there's a little bit of confusion. I get sounded of this. Dabo was the customer, not the shop owner, which I think was through Yehe a little bit there. And so if it's the shop owner that's saying to me, I've got my own payment methods, I don't want to use your ones, we're fine. I think the response is, this is not just about payments. Payment is a minor part of what we're doing here. This is about trust, about your customers trusting you and therefore spending more with you, because they know that they can, rather than limiting what they spend and what they can carry, are limiting what they spend and how much they trust you. And it's not personal. You're not an untrustworthy person, so they don't know you. If they feel that there's protection for them in their transaction, they will just spend more money. It's as simple as that. So when they pay with the PIGEE app, they know that they're not limited by the size of what they can carry, and they know that their money is protected. They know that now because they know that you're not you want to hand over the product as quick as possible to get paid, and you're not going to get paid until you do. So therefore, they spend more money with you. That's what's happening here. It's not about the method of payment. If you want, they can pay you with cash or pay you your method of payment. That's fine. But they won't spend as much when they spend with you because they want to buy this big product and send it home. They want to buy a gift and send that gift directly to their friend in France, their relative in Spain. You know, that's what's happening here. This is about giving trust so that they spend more with you, because you're a shop. What do you want to do? You want to make more money, right? That's what you're here to do. And this is how you're going to make more money, by getting more trust with these customers. Yahya, it's your turn now. You can choose. Please choose someone who's not spoken yet.
Yeah.
So please don't start disappearing, people. I saw someone there turn their camera off immediately, even if they've not got their cameras on. Just it's look, guys, don't worry if you haven't got the right answers. It doesn't matter. It's just about having some kind of response. It's fine. So if you choose someone and then give them an objection to work with.
Okay, I would choose Welihle Masingo. I'm very sorry if I can't, pronounce the name correctly, but
Cool.
yeah. Thank you so much. The person that has raised his hand. So I would go with
I understand you. Okay, thanks for trying to say my name.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So, okay, my objection is as the following. So, ma'am, I really wanna have my my product, but I'm very scared that it will not be delivered well, or I have some worries about the product being broken, harmed while shipping.
Okay. Can I please start off by saying, Lori, it's my first time. I don't know the objection. I'll be thinking on my feet.
Good, good, perfect.
Okay. So just to make your life easier and for you to trust that your product won't be broken, your product will be safe with us. We are going to package it in the safest way as possibly we can. Definitely, you're gonna find it not broken, everything fine. If it does come to you though, broken, trust us. We will refund you, or we're gonna definitely give you the product to you again.
Okay,
Is
awesome.
that
Thank you.
fine with you, sir?
Thank you for that. And so one great thing about Pidge is that, like I said, we are just software ultimately. Now we're allowing traditional shipping companies to access customers that don't normally access via us. So what that means, they are experts in what they do. And so you can explain that to them. Say, look, we are just software. The real logistics, the real shipping companies like FedEx or UPS, whoever, they're the ones who do their job properly. So they're globally experienced in doing that. When they come to collect the product, the package from the shop, they check it. They often check and make sure it's packaged properly before they take it, because they don't want to have to claim an insurance. They do check it typically before they leave. And then when they do leave, they put the label on as well. And if it is damaged, it's insured. We don't allow any transactions to go through without insurance. Everything that's paid for always includes insurance. It's not very expensive anyway, but it includes insurance. So if it ever arrives to you damaged, and I have seen that before, you can just go on the app and just click the button just to make a claim and say it was damaged. That then sends you directly through to that shipping company, who then handle it with you for the repayment, and they pay your money back. Saying that, what's really important is that sometimes people think that if they value something as lower on the listing, on the label, that they can get away with paying, if there is duty on that product, for example, that they won't have to pay as much duty when it's arrived. But the double-edged sword of that is that, let's say you've got a product that costs $100 and you think, oh, I think it might be like taxable in my country, so I'm going to list it as being $10. When you do that, if something ever happens to it and you have to claim insurance, you can't claim the $100. You can only claim the $10. So you do need to make sure that you've listed it properly at the right value. Unfortunately, you have to list at the right value of what it really is worth. Otherwise, you're taking a risk when you do that. But it is insured. That's the answer to it. It's insured whenever you buy something through PIGEE. It's always insured, so you're covered. Now, in fact, how do you pronounce your name? Swelili.
It's fine.
That's not good. It's not. No, tell me properly. I'm not pronouncing it right there. Please correct me.
Yes, you're not pronouncing it right, but I understand you're not from South Africa.
How am I?
So
How should I pronounce it? How should I pronounce it?
you need to say Sweli.
Swear, swear, Lee. Say again.
Swe
Swear,
Li
swear, Lee.
Claire.
Claire. Swear, Lee. Claire. Okay,
Claire.
cool. Swear,
H.
Lee, Claire.
Claire.
Claire. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to go to South African cultural classes, I think.
Yeah, but I'll change my name. I do have a bit easier one. It's Kanye.
Oh no. It's not this. It's my job to learn and not your job to change your name. You stick with your name.
Okay.
Practice it. It's your turn now. We are over, so it's going to be the last one now. But if you could choose someone who's not spoken
Can I
yet.
kindly have Nogutsula? Nogutsula, are you with us?
Where isn't?
Yes, sorry, I got a problem.
Thank you. Okay, so ma'am, I hear what you're saying. You're telling me about the PG app that it's
Aren't you?
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. I hear you telling me about the PG app, the benefits, the things that it will do for me. How can my customers really trust the payment method? What payment methods do you have? What companies, or can I put it that way? What companies are you working with that the customers can easily trust that their money, it's not gonna be scammed? This is not a scammed app for them.
What companies do we use in terms of payment? Is that what you're asking?
Exactly, ma'am.
I'm not too sure. However, I can just tell you that you can trust that it's a secure payment, that everything goes through a verified process and you can pay online. However, if you're not comfortable with using the app, your customers can always pay cash in store and just use the app to do their shipping. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I can only use my customers. The app doesn't require me, or it doesn't require me or my customers to use your payment method. I can just use the app for shipment.
Yes, you can do that. However, if you are comfortable, because I do understand that some people may be scared about paying online. However, if you are able to pay in cash, we do advise in using our payment method so that immediately when the account.
Thank you so much.
But sorry, can I just go back there? When your customer has bought something and it has been taken from your store, then you'll be paid immediately. So you don't have to worry about payments going missing or you not getting paid at all. Everything is done securely through a specified.
Okay, great. If I can just jump in there. So the answer to that is that we use Stripe for digital for payments, so that you can pay with any means. They can pay what to pay with, whether it's credit card, debit card, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Alipay, whatever they've got set up on their phone to make a payment with. They can just pay using that. So we use and more. They'll see when they go on the app to make a payment. There are a long list of payment types they can use from their device, so it'll be their own trusted device. It's encrypted, so they haven't got their credit card details to you or to anyone. It's just within their own device, yeah, that's the answer really. And yeah, so if they do want to pay separately for the product, which is normally because the shop wants that, not the customer. If they do want to do it, they can just toggle when they go to pay. They can just toggle that they're not paying for the product, they're only paying for the shipping with the app, and they can just do that as well, and it'll work just the same. Just they'll be warned they're not protected until it's connected, but they can do that as well. In fact, you might find that a shop owner, they like you, they're trusting you, they like this, they're kind of getting the idea of it, but they don't quite trust you 100% yet. Maybe it's an expensive product, and I don't want to risk losing thousands of dollars on an expensive product just yet. So you can say to them, look, in your first transaction, sure, just do it like that. Take the payment normally as you would do, but let them pay for the shipping on the app. And then there's nothing to risk for you, but your customer is at least happy that they've done it. But after that, now that you've seen the whole thing work end to end, I suggest, I'm not saying you have to, but I suggest you go back to letting the customer just pay for the whole thing on the app, because they will spend more with you. They will spend more when they feel that they can trust they can have a third person as a central kind of trust proposition. They'll spend more, and that's what you want. You want them to spend more money with you. So, but in the first instance, sure, do that. But after that, I'd say to do it the proper way. Right, guys, I think we are good now. We are over by 10. Any urgent questions, let me know. But I think we have come to an end. Please, anyone, if you've got like some meetings upcoming with anyone, any shops, anything like that, just request a one-to-one session with me. If you've not had any other kind of calls with me yet, just again in your emails, request a message with me, a call with me. We can do that on a one-to-one basis. I've got your hand up there, but legally, getting worse. I'm getting worse at pronouncing your name.
Yeah. So I'd just like to ask, I'm new here. This is my first session. I'm still gonna go on the interview stage. So I'd like to know the payment structure. How does it go for my side? And also, I would also like to know the since it looks like it's a field job
Yes.
where we go to the shop, a door to door.
Have you booked
It's not.
Have you booked
Sorry?
your call? Have you booked your call with me yet?
Yes, I have.
When is it?
On the 11th.
Okay. Well, look, we'll go all of that, and I'm not going to tell you twice. We'll go all of that in detail on the call. If you need to pull it earlier, feel free to pull it earlier if you want. But yeah, we'll go over all that in the call.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
No worries, no worries. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've gained some insights and some benefits from today. I know from speaking to some of you privately that you've got some good clients lined up as well. So wishing you luck with those clients that you're speaking to and onboarding them. Like I said, feel free, one-to-one sessions anytime. This is my job to get you to your first, not just your first sale, your first 10 sales, to get you up and running. So any help you need, just set a one-to-one with me. Also on the WhatsApp groups, just drop me a message. There to help to get you to the your first client, start making some money. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Speak to you on the rebound.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thanks, guys. Bye.